vans here.
There's a big van next to us. Yeah,
There
maybe.
you go.
As long as they save some for us, right? So guys, we had a delicious meal over at High Hop, and yeah, I showed you my coffee. I was going to show you what I had for breakfast, but I was so hungry that I ate it and went, I didn't even show you guys. So trust me, it was a good hearty breakfast. So let's head inside. It is the Williamsburg, Virginia Antique Mall. And I had no idea how big this place was inside. All I know is it was filled and went on forever. Well, I looked up online when I got out just how big it was. It's 45,000 square feet, and it has over 300 dealers. Have you ever been in an antique mall that's that big? And I mean, it is covered. Like, there is no empty space anywhere. It's not just a little bit of stuff here and there. It's all over, all crammed in there. Oh my gosh, look at all the eye candy. I love this little setup right here with the red rug. Oh, and I love those old style rugs. How about you guys? Now here is a gallery wall, if you want to call it that. Holy moly, if you need some wall art, you'll find everything in here. I saw this little painted chair, and it's one of the first things I bent down to see the price on. $45. It was painted. For me, a lot of times I'm better off finding things that are unpainted and then going ahead and jazzing it up with a little junk monkey paint. And because, remember, these are all different dealers that are in here, sometimes you hit on the booth where you're like, oh, this isn't totally in my price range. I love those little pie tins back there. Did you guys see those? Those cake tins? What are they called? When the cake has the hole in the center. This wooden block was really cool as well. But yeah, you go into some booths, and by the way, I love that rug. How about you? You go in and you're like, this is totally my price point, and a lot of times you're like, nah, a little too much for me. So it is really a treasure hunt. I did love this. Look, somebody took the time. I mean, this was worth it. This is a beautiful piece of art, all done in cross stitch, hand done, and I loved the unicorn that was in it. Check out this frame. I was like, oh man, I do love. Once I had a big frame like this and I sold it, and now it's, I think back to it, and so every time I'm out in the store, I'm like, oh, I need that frame. This one was, I think it was somewhere around $50, if I'm going off memory. Yep, $49. And that's a beautiful frame. It would definitely be a beautiful statement piece. Keep it for yourself. Girl from the ocean. Matt loves oceany theme things too. So we did see this really cool, interesting vase. Felix the cat. I thought he was a really cool piece. This crock here for $16, I thought that was a good find. What about you guys? Would you have taken it home? Anybody out there collect crocks and know what generally the going prices are? Oh, I love a good globe. And I like the colors in this one. It had teal blue on it. And then this like phone booth curio cabinet. Oh my gosh. Have you ever seen anything like this before? I just thought it was fantastic. Now, the price wasn't that fantastic. I mean, honestly, if you really wanted it and you're buying it for yourself like a collector piece, sure. Now, this right here, a bottle for $9.95, definitely in my budget and something that I could haul home in a car today. There was actually 2 glasses there. I don't know, were they filled with like soda before, or anybody recognize those? This cabinet was gorgeous. Sometimes you see pieces that are beautiful to have paint on them, and sometimes you just see pieces that you just appreciate the wood in itself. That was one of those pieces that I was like, that's beautiful. I met a gentleman over here. He is retired, him and his wife. They collect all kinds of wall art, and they travel basically around the country and set up at sales. They used to have a store, and now they just do vendor shows. He was telling me that he was heading down to, I think it was Myrtle Beach next. And I thought, how cool, and that's what he does. He's retired, and he loves going out and finding eclectic things, and then, you know, specifically wall art and reselling them. Amazing. I really like this coat tree. That was really cool. Oh, look at that piece right there as I'm panning by. Do you see that? Oh my gosh, isn't that beautiful? This was cool. This was a whole bunch of just older bulbs, and I think it was $6 for the entire pack. So of course I picked through this whole stack of just wall art over here. I did end up, oh look at that cross stitch right there. I did end up leaving with some wall art. I'll show you at the very end. Guys, I love cross stitch. Anybody else do it? I like the pottery. I love the blue that was in here. Tried my hand at pottery last year and I realized how much work goes into it. You really appreciate it a whole lot more. It was $68 for that ball shaped piece. This is cool. I've never seen anybody do this before. It's an old trowel, and what they did was the old tool, they took Scrabble words and stuck it on to the front, and it just sits up like that. Vintage love. A little rust, little, you know, chippy patina. Pretty cool. I liked this. It looked like it was just missing the frame that it went into, but just a cool piece of, yeah, like a fabric art. The toolbox over here was really neat. Let's see, it's priced at $50. Anybody out there love vintage toolboxes? Or maybe you have one belonging to somebody in your family, a loved one. Like this one on the floor right here. Isn't that beautiful? Oh my goodness, change it out for the seasons with different greenery or decor. Beautiful. I almost took this guy home. I really did like it, but I was like, $23. I don't know if I can splurge that much. Little interesting deer right there. The candles make its horns. Love that old chippy fireplace mantle. And then this right here, I'm going to show you. This is the difference when you go to dealer and the difference it makes. So $22 for this small gold frame. Pretty cool, right? Now in a moment, you'll see I come across another frame that's similar, same idea. I loved all the chippiness of this booth here, and I do want to find myself some really cool old shutters and some like, what's the price on these? Would these be good? Well, a lot of times when I find this sort of stuff, $50 was not what I would pay for that. I know I can go out and junk a little bit more and find them at a better price. Look, $42 for this gold frame, $22 for the other one. So it's all the treasure hunt, right? And honestly, we spent a lot of time in here. Look at this, guys. I love the yellow and the red. If you need some inspiration and you're thinking about doing like a really cool, funky, bright, yet primitive look, red and yellow. Who knew? It goes together so cool. I like this bunny right here as well. They had a ginormous book section. I knew that if me and Matt ever got separated in this giant mall of stuff, that if I just came back to the book section, this is where I would find Matt. And at one point we did get separated, and you know what? I backtracked to here, and guess where he was? Standing right here. And they had a lot of good books too. Sometimes you get obscure stuff, but this book section had like good authors and stuff. So while Matt was looking at books, I made my way over here to the clown stuff, because you know, if there's a weird looking face with clowns or weird eyeballs, I'm gonna find it. Can you imagine if I bought one of these things? Matt would be like, nope, you're bringing it back. Anybody else find that clown a little bit scary? This is really cool. I took a picture of this because I really like the garland. It's called cranberry garland, and it had cranberries and what looked like pieces of popcorn. I thought it was pretty cool. I'm looking in here just curious to see the price on the Christmas mice. You guys know I picked up some Christmas mice recently at a vintage store. So this peacock, really like this peacock, what do you call it? Weather vane. I went back to look at the price. Wasn't in the cards today. Guys, they had so much in that place. It almost felt like after a while, I just got numb to it all. It was like, it was sensory overload. I felt like I walked and walked. I'm like, oh, that's good. I'll come back. Okay. And I'll go to the next aisle, be like, oh, that's good. I should come back. And before you know it, I'm like, oh my gosh, like there's so much I like. And it just kept going on and on and on. I did leave with a piece, a beautiful piece that I'm excited to put in my paint studio that inspires me. And you guys know that I am a vintage lover. I'm definitely a shabby floral lover. And I found an original painting in there. Actually, Matt, it was priced for $35, and when I checked out with tax, it came to $31. So there was obviously a sale on in there today. When I went to check out, there were so many people. I don't even know. Do you know, Matt, how big that place was? Like how much square footage you think it was?
It's big.
I don't know if it came across on camera, but it just felt like it went forever, which is a very good thing. Okay, so when you come up front, people were literally, as they were checking out, you had to grab one of these guys before you checked out. And Matt came out before me. I'm like, oh my gosh. I took my number and I read it right here. And I said, okay, number 89. And he walked out, and so I'm waiting. And she's calling numbers, and she's at like 60, I don't know, 63, 64. And I'm like, oh, I am 89. And then I realized I'm not 89. I'm actually 68. So it wasn't that bad. Seriously, I had a moment where I'm like, how much do I love this original painting that I just picked? So I was 68. It's all good. And I feel like I got a really good deal and a really nice souvenir of my trip here to Williamsburg. All right, the painting is wrapped behind me. Stay tuned. In just a second, I will show you what it looks like out of the paper. Promise. All right, friends, we are home, and I am excited to share with you what I took back from Williamsburg, Virginia as a souvenir of my trip, and picking things that just make me happy versus just taking everything, just even leaving with one thing that just brings a smile to my face. So you guys know I'm a shabby floral lover, and this is an original painting. Who knows how old it is? Maybe at one point it was in a frame based on the edging. I'm not sure. But it's gorgeous. So I can't wait to put this into my studio on my wall. It just makes me happy, right? And at the end of the day, surround yourself with the things that bring you joy, whatever that may be. See you tomorrow, guys. Bye.